Hey everyone, welcome back to the garage. Today, I kind of have some thoughts on bringing manufacturing back to the United States. And the impetus of this thought process with me was actually changing a window motor on a 95 BMW. What an absolute nightmare it turned out to be, being that I had to go into the door panel 3 times because the first window motor was bad. And it wasn't made in China. It was actually rebuilt in Mexico, which, usually is a better product. At least we're told so, but actually I believe so. I've had very good luck, and that's how we have to say things now with products that we buy with the Mexican, new or even rebuilt things. But that made me think about it because, the motor I pulled out was a Chinese motor. My uncle had replaced it. And actually the motor itself is still very good. I tested it. The problem is the magnets right here, those magnets right there, gave up. You see them right there now? Gave up when the switch for the door kept on making the window go up and down, and it just kind of caused them to break. Or maybe they weren't that robust to start with, who knows, but honestly, the rest of it isn't bad. But here is the Mexican rebuilt motor. They painted, I love rebuilders, they paint everything just black. Everything, even the gear, they painted the gear black. They just take spray paint and paint the whole thing. That's always my favorite. Anything that's metal gets painted black so it doesn't rust. This made me think about, the whole push at this point to bring manufacturing back to the United States. And it'd be, what they're really talking about is stuff like this, semiconductors at this point, anything that's not major, because the United States still does make cars, and we make industrial products, we make, farming products, factory products, appliances. There are stuff like that still made in the United States. The push is for smaller items. And the funny thing is, I saw an article today, and this is really what's made my mind go aflutter on this, is that since 2007, industrial output in the United States has basically been flat. It's barely changed since 2007, when the Great Recession started. Well, technically, we're still in. Since that moment, anything to grow industrially, everything has been done through finance or intellectual properties. It's all great and fun to think that, oh my God, we could just turn on the switch and we can just start building stuff here, and it's going to be great quality, best ever. Nobody can compete with it. Development of technologies, but nothing that is mass-produced industrial product. I mean, the biggest company to start making things since that time, or during that time, is Tesla. That's actually a mostly made in America company. But I really can't really think of many other companies that have started since that time and make a lot of products for us. And I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on this, but it's not going to happen. No matter what we think, it's just not going to happen. There's a couple reasons for this. The first is the capital investment to do this is massive. To build any type of factory or any type of production plant or anything of that nature in the United States is extremely expensive. It makes it very cost prohibitive at the start to get going. But dentists, they're going to offer, tax credits and stuff. Yeah, but then that's just basically stealing from you and me to help that big company do something. That's really not a great solution. The other thing is that these foreign countries that we want to take the stuff back from already have facilities that have been up and running for years. They're in their mature phases. They've been doing it for a long time. And honestly, it doesn't take a lot for them to start actually making a better product. Like this window motor, it was less than $100 shipped to me. But I bet if they put another $10 of just time and effort into every motor, and maybe knowledge, they would actually be very, very good. And I wouldn't have to worry about them burning up. Because that's kind of the trick. Because by the time your facility's up, they may have changed. Everything's not static. They may have changed and improved their products. Great example. Japan, post-war Japan. Post-war Japan at first was kind of thought of inferior product. I mean, because like you had made in Japan kind of stuff, and it was made cheap, and Americans didn't really think much of it until the 70s, when they actually copied a lot of manufacturing techniques from around the world and then put it in their cars, and have basically owned the U.S. car market since that time. That's a foreign country that literally went and made their products better. Like any Japanese engine, I will put against any engine in the world, bar none. It is built that well, and it's because of a mentality to make the best. Taiwan was the same way. I have Taiwanese tools when we used to actually get a lot of stuff like that from Taiwan. They're fine. I still have them. They have to be 50 years old. They still work just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Like hand tools, the metal doesn't break. They're actually very good. The latest example is Harbor Freight with China. These are the Bauer line. I have most of these battery tools. They're phenomenal. Honestly, bang for the buck. I can't do better. I will put this against any DeWalt, any Skill, anything. I will literally put this against any other product. They can't match the value for the money, and then the actual flexibility of being able to get different things for it. Like I can buy batteries all day long, and they aren't breaking the bank. And the batteries seem to last very long. This company took its time, and this is kind of the thing, to actually invest and make better products. They made a concerted effort to make a better product. Now their stuff really isn't a joke. It actually is pretty good quality. And I don't hesitate buying anything from there. I really don't. I refuse to pay the prices and here it comes. This is kind of the other part of why this is just not going to happen. I refuse to pay the prices at Lowe's and Home Depot for their tools. Like Lowe's has Craftsman for whatever the heck that's worth. I won't buy a Craftsman product. There's no reason to. The sockets I buy at Harbor Freight, the ratchets I buy at Harbor Freight, seem just as good. As a home mechanic, as a casual mechanic who works on other people's stuff, their baseline tools are fine. I see no issue with them. I can't make fault with them. So how do you have manufacturing then come into the United States and make these types of products? Because I think Milwaukee is still built here. And a Milwaukee thing like this would be like 3 times the price. It'd be over $200. It's only slightly better. Does that really make a difference? No. I'm going to buy this. I don't have any Milwaukee products. They're too expensive. They're way out of my price range. And that's the thing with most Americans, is out of their price range. So if you bring it back, you're just going to have that other part of the equation. The price is going to be much higher, no matter what type of scale you're doing it on, because here's the third and fourth part. The third part is we don't have enough people to do this type of work. I'm Gen X. After Gen X, it gets really thin on people that do manufacturing work. There are some. It's not a lot, though. It's a lot less than what my generation was, because my generation still had shop class. We still did hands-on things. I started working at a gas station when I was 15 years old. That's not a common thing anymore. It's a very uncommon thing. It's been a very uncommon thing for a very long time. Everything's done in intellectual properties now. Of course, the other part, because of the scarcity, then you also have the union problem. The unions have, and I'm going to hear probably tons of comments on this, but the unions have done so much damage to this country, it's not funny. They have outlived their usefulness in every sector. Entertainment, automotive, everywhere. They have outlived their usefulness. They've gotten to the point where now they're a hindrance to making business actually do something. And a lot of these countries don't have this problem. China doesn't have this problem. I know they aren't the best at treating people well, but they don't have the problem. Mexico doesn't have the problem. That's why Stellantis moved their manufacturing down there. That's why Ford actually has stuff that's made down there. You save a lot of money. Korea doesn't have that issue either. Korean cars are 20% cheaper. They're not made much worse, actually maybe made as well, because they sit in this copy stuff just like the Japanese did. And the Japanese don't have the problem either. We were at the point where it's a really great thought, but actually at this point in time, it's not feasible. I'm unsure if it could actually ever be returned. Especially, it will never be like it was in the 60s, ever. I just can never see that happening. There doesn't seem, the infrastructure's not there. The cost to be able to start something is not going down. It's escalating massively in this country because we like regulating the hell out of that stuff. And to the point of nausea. I mean, think about this for a second. This country relies on oil to run. That's a strong fact. You could try to deny it, do everything else you want. It runs on oil. We have not built a new refinery since the mid-'80s because of regulations. This is a necessary. Actually, I would even argue that it is a national security problem because of the way we regulate and the way we do things. We can't build one. The cost is too great. And these are oil and gas companies, and they just don't want to lay out that type of money. We are really in a rock and a hard place with manufacturing. Just look back on the heydays is a great thing, but from this point forward, we may bring back some things, but it's never all going to come back. It's never all going to be built in America. And eventually, the other products will catch up and be as good. It's just the way things are. I mean, Harbor Freight showed me that stuff made in China can actually not be garbage, because it isn't. This isn't garbage. You know, all this just came because I was working on a car window and the first one failed. And then it all just snowballed. So I hope you got something from that. I know I'm going to hear the comments because, you know, it's a touchy subject, but I mean, facts are facts at this point, and it's sad. Hopefully maybe things will change. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know, ever since China won the economic war against us in the 90s, early 2000s, we haven't been the same. And they did. Uncle Tony talked about that, and he's right. They played the long game, and now most of our stuff is made there, including American flags. Actually kind of weird. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on this. Once again, I want to hear yours. And, you know, if you got something to this, hit like. If you like car stuff, because I actually have more car stuff coming out. It's just kind of something to use. Subscribe. You know, I'm trying to get to 10,000. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go ahead. And what you'll get out of that is more car content and maybe some more historical content, and you'll get some fun stuff from me. So with that, if you have a cool old car, something fun to drive, take them out, because they'll make someone's day. I almost forgot there, and probably your own. And I will see you really soon.